Happy day, students. Today I am going to teach you non-finite verbs. At first you should know that all verbs in the indicative means to give a sign of something. Subjunctive means it's a form of verb in certain languages that expresses doubt or possibility or a wish, etc. Okay. And imperative means command or a thing that is of utmost importance or necessary. Okay. Imperative moods, they are known as finite verbs. So finite verbs are the main verbs. Okay. They are limited by the person and number of their subject. If a verb is not limited by the person and number of its subject, it is called non-finite verb. Non-finite verbs do not indicate tense. Now, what are non-finites? Verbs are action words. They are divided into two, finite and non-finites. Finite verbs act as a verb. Okay, they are the main verbs. Second point, you see, they act as a main verb of a sentence or a clause. And they indicate number, person and tense. And you see, fourth point, they are used in the present tense and the past tense. And fifth point, they have to agree with the subject and change accordingly. On the other hand, non-finite verbs, first point you see, do not act as a verb. And second point, they act as nouns, adjectives and adverbs. And third point, they do not indicate number or person or tense. The different kinds of non-finites are, first, infinitives. Second one, gerund. Third one, participles. So, at first we shall see the infinitives. So, non-finite verbs you can see in the chart. First one is infinitive, that is to plus verb. Second one, gerund, that is verb plus ing. And third one you see past participle, that is verb plus en. So, infinitive is a form of a verb not changed for person or number or tense, and it is preceded to. See here, infinitive means we have to add to in the front. Actually, it is a kind of noun with certain features of the verb. For example, to read, to play, to watch, to write, to yawn. So, to plus present form, that is verb 1, is infinitive. So, sometimes the infinitive is used without to. When it is used after the verbs bid, feel, hear, help, know, let, make, see, watch, etc. The newspapers would help us believe that music is a part of arts and entertainment. The jailer helped the musician compose music in the prison. The speaker made the parents realize the importance of music. So you see here, the newspapers would help us to believe. So to is hidden. So it is bare infinitive. In the same way, second sentence, you see the jailer helped the musician to compose. So no need to, it is bare infinitive. Okay, no need to use to. Without to only, the meaning is proper. The speaker made the parents realize, not to realize, the importance of music. So in infinitives we have two types, that is full infinitives. It is to plus a verb. Example, see, Pushpa likes to eat lunch with me. So eats is a third person, singular, simple present tense. It is the main verb. Okay, here Pushpa eats lunch with me. So when it is infinitive means Pushpa likes to eat lunch with me. Second one, you see bare infinitives. It is a verb without to. So example, you see, Reena will help me. Bare infinitives means without to. Okay. So what are infinitives? An infinitive is a verb form that acts as other parts of speech in a sentence. It is formed with to plus base form of the verb. For example, to buy, to work. So infinitive examples, infinitives can be used as an object following the verb. So example you see, Jim always forgets to eat. So an object following the verb. Okay. So Jim always forgets what to eat. Okay. So this is acting as an object following the verb forgets. Next one you see, a subject at the beginning of a sentence. So you see, to travel around the world requires a lot of time and money. So to travel occurs as a subject at the beginning of a sentence. Next one you see, an adverb modifying a verb. So you promised to buy me a diamond ring. Okay. So an adverb modifying a verb. Promised. It is modified. So you promised to buy me a diamond ring. Next one you see, as infinitive, do you want to call your family now? Some verbs are directly followed by a noun or a pronoun and then by an infinitive. Okay. Do you want to call your family now? Next one you see, I convinced Catherine to become vegetarian. Then second one, he advised me to sell all my shares of stock. Then some verbs can be followed by an infinitive or a gerund without causing a change in the meaning. Will you continue working after you give birth? So will you continue to work after you give birth? Some verbs can be followed by an infinitive or a gerund but with a change in the meaning. He stopped drinking coffee. He never drank coffee again. So you can understand. Some verbs can be followed by an infinitive or a gerund but with a change in the meaning. Okay, he stopped drinking means he never drank coffee again. He stopped to drink coffee. So both ways you can write. He stopped what he was doing and drank some coffee. Next is bare infinitive. An infinitive verb which occurs without to. That is bare infinitive. Help me. Open the door. No need to use help me to open. It is distinct from to infinitive. Help me to open the door. Right? The infinitive without the marker to, bare infinitive, is used after the auxiliaries. What are the auxiliaries? Shall, should, will, would, may, might, do, did, can, could, must, need and dare. So example you can see, I shall invite them. We must go now. He can speak English. You need not go. And notes you see, when dare and need are used as principal verbs, when they occur as the main verbs, they are followed by the to infinitive. Right? Did he dare to do that? So as soon as we use dare, we use to plus verb. That is infinitive. We will need 2 weeks to complete the work. Some principal verbs like bid, watch, see, let, make, help and hear. Okay, you can see, I bade him come. So not I bade him to come. It is understood. So to is hidden. It is bare infinitive. I bade him come. Let him go. So not let him to go. Let him go. Okay, that is correct. Then you see, we heard her sing. Not we heard her to sing. Right? I watched them play. Not that I watched them to play. After, rather, better and had better also, the infinitive is used without to. After, rather, better and had better. You had rather visit him. I would rather wait. You had better consult a doctor. After some prepositions like except, but, save and than. Also we use this. She can do everything but cook. She did nothing except cry. Not to cry or not to cook. Okay. Now moving on to gerund. Gerund functions as a noun. So it is called as a verbal noun. It also functions as an adjective. A gerund has the same form as a present participle. So gerunds are used in the following ways. First, as a subject and a kind of a noun. You see, reading is a good habit. So reading is the subject. Okay, it acts as a noun. So reading is a good habit. Second one, learning a language is always useful. As an object, Rita likes cooking. So Rita likes what? Cooking. So it acts as, this gerund acts as an object. Third one, you see, as a compliment. Okay, her liking is cooking. So compliment here means what? Praising. Okay, her liking is cooking. It is for completing the sentence. They help in completing the sentence. So it is known as compliment. Fourth one, used in compound nouns. Bathtub, a tub to bath. Okay, so bathtub. It names an activity rather than a person or thing. Any action verb can be made into a gerund. So spelling tips are given. You can see verbing, present participle, add ing to most verbs. For example, play means playing, cry means crying, bark means barking. For verbs that end in E, remove the E and add ing. For example, slide, E is removed and we are using sliding. Ride, you see, E is removed and we are using riding. For verbs that end in, that is change the IE to Y and adding. For example, die, D-I-E, IE is removed and we are using Y. So dying, D-Y-I-N-G. In the same way, tie, T-I-E, T-Y-I-N-G. For a verb whose last syllable is written with a consonant vowel. See. For example, you see first one, jogging is a hobby of mine. Gerunds can act as an object following the verb. Okay. Daniel quit smoking. It's acting as an object. Quit what? Smoking a year ago. Next you see gerunds can serve as an object after a preposition. So I look forward to. So to is the preposition. To helping you paint the house. So gerunds can also serve as an object after a preposition. Next you should note this. The same spelling rules that apply to the progressive tenses also apply to gerunds. Some verbs and verb phrases are directly followed by a gerund. Some verbs can be followed by a gerund or an infinitive without causing a change in the meaning. Some people prefer getting up early in the morning. You can use this way. Some people prefer to get up early in the morning. Some verbs can be followed by a gerund or infinitive but with a change in meaning. So first one you see, he remembered sending the fax. He remembered the act of send the fax. So he remembered to send the fax. Okay. He remembered the fax and sent it. Now moving on to the past participle. A participle is a fourth form of a verb, that is verb 4, and has the face of a verb and of an adjective. So it is called a verbal adjective. See, long forgotten books. So verb plus en. Forgotten, long forgotten books. This is past participle. Next you see worn out cloth. Where, then here comes worn, W-O-R-N, worn out cloth. But means it is old cloth. In the above sentences, the past participles forgotten and worn do the work of an adjective and they are called past participles. So, participles come after an object to describe it and express the state the object is in. A present participle indicates an activity that is continuing and is in progress. A present or past participle can function as an adjective phrase to describe a noun placed before it. Okay, a present or past participle can function as an adjective phrase to describe a noun that is placed before it. Example you see, the baby singing in the room is my child. So they are talking about the subject. The bird flying in the sky is lark. So the main verb is, be verb. Okay. Next we see the different forms of participles are present participle, that is verb plus ing, sleep plus ing, sleeping. Next one, past participles, verb plus d or ed or en, like plus d, liked. Third one you see perfect participles, that is having plus past participles. You see, having plus finished, having finished. Then fourth one, present, that is used in passive. You can see being plus past participle, being told, being told. Fifth one, you see, perfect, it is passive form, having been plus past participle, having been written. So participles are used as a verb. Example, you can see Sita is sleeping. So along with the be verb only, sleeping is getting a meaning. Then you see it is used as an adjective. So example, she is a retired principal. So dear students, hope you have understood this non-finite verbs. With this, I wind up the class and we shall continue the rest in the next class. Thank you.